If you have any props that are available to you, you may want 2 blocks for today. And we'll be putting our knees down on the yoga mat, so you might want a blanket as well. So you can come to a comfortable seat, and if you're doing the Breathe Together yoga challenge, then you know that today's word is ahimsa. So the practice of nonviolence or non-harming. And I think that even if you don't make a practice of the yamas or niyamas, just by what's happening in the world in California right now, we're all really practicing this idea of non-harming by taking shelter in place. When I think about the yamas and niyamas and the practice of them, when it comes to this specific one, ahimsa or non-violence, non-harming, I think of not only how can I not do harm and how can I not be violent in my deeds or in my thoughts, but also how can I cultivate the antidote to harming or to violence. And so for me, it becomes a practice of how do I cultivate peace and how do I help, right? So rather than harm, we help. And rather than act out in any violent manner, whether that's with thoughts or words or actions, how do we seek peace, cultivate peace, and spread peace? Very much just by tuning in here today, you are doing that work of cultivation of peace, and you are doing that work of being of service, service to the community of Breathe just by remaining together. And if you're tuning in from outside of Breathe, service to the greater human Sangha just by tuning in and taking care of yourself in strange times like these. I'll begin the class. You can come onto your back. So lie down. I'm going to remain seated just so that you can hear me better. But if you lie down on your yoga mat on your back and bend your knees so that the soles of your feet are grounded, we'll begin with a bit of breathing. So coming all the way down supine. Bend the knees, soles of the feet grounded. So the knees will be pointing up to the ceiling. Let your arms rest along the sides of you, palms facing up. In yoga, we talk about palms facing up as being a position for receptivity. So this idea of remaining open. And these can be really tough and challenging times to remain open. But the other choice, the closing up, only causes more suffering and more harm. Take one hand to your belly if you'd like. And then begin to breathe into your palm. So you'll feel the warmth of the palm against the belly. Breathe into that. Think of your belly like a balloon that inflates when you breathe in and then deflates when you breathe out. And this way of breathing connects us down into parasympathetic nervous system. So the side of the nervous system that's calming and down regulating. And begin to let the breath spread into the sides of the rib cage. Feeling the expansion and contraction there. And then bring breath all the way up into the collarbones. So the experience becomes like 3-dimensional or even 5-dimensional breathing. Then if you practice the Ujjayi breath regularly and you want to invite that here, use the vocal folds around the breath to tone the breath and to thicken it. And maintain that fullness of breath, whether it's Ujjayi or just full expansion, contraction. And take your arms wide like a T if you have the space. If you don't, you can go to cactus. Then heel toe your feet towards the outer edges of your yoga mat. Move with breath. So breath as your animator, with the knees pointing up, take a breath in. As you exhale, drop both knees to the right, turn your head to the left. And inhaling, come back through the center. And exhale, go the other way. Follow the rhythm of your breath through this movement, side to side with the knees, side to side with the head. One more time. Then bring it all back to the center. Keep the knees bent, but step the feet in so that they're hips distance, parallel. Bring the arms by the sides, and now turn the palms to face down, so that little bit of internal rotation of the upper arm bones. While you're grounded, exhale completely. Then use inhale to press feet, lift hips, and raise the arms all the way overhead. And exhale to lower back down. Think about like riding the waves of your breath, the inhale to lift, and the exhale to lower. Every time you go up, can you feel the front of the body, the front line opening? And when you go up, the back line is toning. So front line lengthens, back line tones. One more, inhaling lift. And exhaling lower. Then hug the knees in towards you. Do it like you mean it. Think about this as an action for cultivating non-harming. That idea of cultivation of peace, the antidote. Then right arm overhead, roll onto your right side. Use your hand to guide you all the way up. And then find your way to hands and knees, tabletop. Do the alignment of the wrists under the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Keep the spine in neutral. And if you lost connection to fullness of breath, come back to it here. Then begin to allow the breath to move you through your spine articulation. When you inhale, sitting bones lift, belly down, chest forward, and chin goes up. Now as you exhale, tuck tail first, belly up, chest up, and then chin down. Think of it as having 4 parts. Inhaling, sitting bones lift, belly moves down, chest moves forward, and chin goes up. Exhaling, tailbone under, belly up, chest up, and chin down. Now that you've found the rhythm, do a couple more on your own, climbing up the spine with the inhale and rolling down the spine from the bottom to the top with your exhale. As you next round, exhale all of your breath. And then come back to a long spine. Walk your knees in just about a 1/2 inch and then sit back towards your own heels like you're creating a child's pose, but don't go all the way forward. Stay lifted. Put the forearms both on the ground, parallel like train tracks. And then turn your right forearm in. Bring your left hand onto your sacrum. Continue to look down as you breathe all the way out. Now when you inhale, open the chest wide to the left, turn the head left. Exhale and close the shape, squaring back to the ground. Again, inhaling, turning spine, turning neck, part of the spine. Exhale, close. Breathing and moving. When you turn, can you lengthen? So the spine doesn't shorten as you turn. It actually grows just a little bit longer. Squaring chest, chin, and eyes downward. Now switch what the arms are doing. So the left forearm pivots in, right hand to hip or sacrum. The breath in rolls you open. And the breath out brings you back to where you began. Lengthening as you spin and maintaining the length as you close. Last one. Then come back to arms extending forward, way out in front of you. Fingers long, spread them. Lift your hips enough to tuck your toes under, and then push the hands forward, lift the hips up and back. First downward dog pose. The tricep side of the arm, it firms to the floor, the head releases. Feel free to have the knees bent. Grow all of the limbs longer. So think of the spine as its own limb, lengthening as you reach arms and as you extend hips back. Now take full breath in so you feel that 3D or 5D expansion. And then exhale and walk up. Bring your feet to your hands. When you get there, soft knees, grab the elbows, hang in ragdoll. You can stay static or you can sway the hips to the right and hips to the left and travel a bit from side to side. Then find middle, head hanging, hands to hips, elbows draw into each other, press down into the feet and rise all the way up to standing. Release the arms by your sides and come into your mountain pose. So feet can be at hips distance or sides of the big toes touching and heels apart. Ground and center. Bring your hands together in prayer and close your eyes. And I'm going to chant the sound of the Om one time. I'm going to pull the mic just a little farther away so I don't kill you. And if you'd like to join me. Exhale fully. Take breath all the way in. Then release the arms, open the eyes. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach the arms, touch palms, lift chin. Exhale and bow forward. Inhale and lengthen, spine reaching away from sitting bones. Exhale, step to plank pose. Keep exhaling, put the knees down and come all the way prone. First cobra pose, press pelvis, root tops of feet. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, bring your chest to the floor. Again, let the inhale lift you up, legs strong and long. Exhale, move forward and down. One more, inhale, lift. Exhale and lower. Tuck the toes, seat to heels as you breathe in. Exhale, push hands, lift hips up, back, downward facing. Closing the eyes if you'd like to tap into the feeling, the sensation. for this first hold of downward dog. Or let the eyes remain open, but pick a steady spot to gaze. Take 2 more full cycles of breath. Now draw a deep breath in so there's expansion. Exhale, knees bend, eyes look forward. Inhale, step, step, feet to hands. Keep inhaling and lift halfway. Exhale, fold, let the head fall. Inhale, reach all the way up, touch palms, chin lifts. Exhale, back to mountain pose. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen. With this exhale, step back and then keep exhaling and lower down. It can be chaturanga now. Inhale, up dog, or stay with cobra. Exhale, pull back, downward facing. Breathe. Every inhalation expands you. With every exhalation, a gentle contraction or drawing in. Then take breath all the way in. As you exhale, crouch low, look forward. Inhale, step or jump. Keep inhaling, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise again, reach up. Exhale, back to mountain pose. Last one, inhaling, lift. Exhaling, bow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step and lower. Inhale, stretch front body. Exhale, fold back, downward dog. Breathe. Now prepare with an inhalation. Exhale, crouch low, look forward with your eyes. Inhale, step or jump. Keep inhaling, lengthening. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raising up. Exhale, back to mountain. Now take your feet as wide as your shoulders. Reach back and interlace your hands with each other. As you inhale, stretch the knuckles down, pinky side of the hand back, lift chin and chest. Exhale, bow forward, bend knees, hang head, and take the arms for a ride up and over. See if you can find the relationship between relaxing the jaw and the neck and the ability to take the arms for that ride overhead. There's a direct correlation in there. One more breath here. Then release, touch down, and find your way back to your downward facing dog pose. When you get there, use right leg lifting up and back as you inhale. Exhale, right foot forward and through. Let the back knee come to the floor. Untuck your back toes. Bring both hands to right thigh. So starting in this deep crescent lunge, now we'll back out of it using breath to move you. So when you inhale, pull back until the front shin is vertical. And then when you exhale, go back in for some more. Do this a few times. Every time you pull back, tailbone, buttocks long. See if you can maintain tailbone, buttocks long as you then lunge forward. One more. Coming forward into that crescent shape, add the arms, reach up, side body long. Then hinge forward a bit. Bring your hands together in prayer. Take breath in. When you exhale, twist to your right, hook the left arm somewhere outside of your right thigh, or you can take left hand to the floor and right arm to the ceiling. Either way is effective, either way is right. Maintaining length even as you twist, just as we did in the beginning of practice. And then release, unwind, touch ground. If you have your two blocks, you can stand them up along your front shin. And then, if not, you can use your hands on the floor. Inhale, pull back until front leg is straight, front toes are up, so the hips move back. Exhale and come forward. So opening up through the back of the right leg. Inhale, pull back. And when you exhale and come forward, front of the left hip opens. So moving between hamstring and hip opening. Now, as you come forward and bend the front knee, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee off the floor. Step your back foot forward by 6 inches. Turn the left heel in and down so you're creating a pyramid shape of your legs. With blocks or without blocks, inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Undulation with breath. Breathing in, elongation of the spine. Exhale, round. One more time, breathing in and then breathing out. Blocks off to the side if you have them. Hands to the hips, come all the way up to standing. While you're standing, reach your arms up to the ceiling, palms face forward. Pull your armpits way back and then bend your elbows like you're going to cradle your own head without actually grabbing the skull. Armpits back, arm bones back. Then go up and reach the arms out to a V, so they look wide. Bring the arms along the sides of your body, then internally rotate the palms. Bend the elbows until thumbs and index fingers connect. Notice if the head is forward, can you retract the chin and reach up through the crown? Shoulders internally rotated, thumb and index touching. Now straighten the arms all the way. Go back up to the high, wide V, palms face forward. Bend your front knee, lean forward, touch ground, standing split. So right leg is straight, left leg is also straight, left leg parallel to the floor. Take a bow. You can stay here, or you take your right hand to your calf, low by the Achilles, and you tug up with your hand. And then you take your left hand onto your right hand, and both hands brace against the leg and they pull up to keep you balanced. Then release, touch down, bend the front knee, step way the heck back. Hands to the ground, downward dog, breathe. You can stay here or you can flow through Vinyasa, inhale plank, exhale chaturanga or knees, inhale cobra or up dog, exhale hips move back, downward facing. Use next inhale to left leg up and back, lift, exhale step through. Right knee comes down, untuck right toes, both hands left thigh. In and out of the lunge. Inhale, pull back, get vertical through front shin. Exhale, go down. Moving and breathing. With your next exhale, you come into the fullness of Crescent. Reach up, side body long. Hands go to prayer. Lean forward with the spine. Create the length you'll need. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist. Elbow outside of thigh, or right hand to ground, left arm to sky. Remember maintaining the length as you turn. Then carefully unwinding, touch ground. Use blocks if you're going to. Frame your front shin. Moving between this crescent lunge and half Hanuman's pose. Breathing in, hips go back. Left toes up, left heel grounds. Breathing out, bring it forward, opening front of right hip. As you next bend the front knee, lift the back knee by tucking toes. Step the back foot in by about 6 inches. Turn the heel in and down. Create pyramid with the legs. And then breath-based undulation. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pour. Do it several times. And then find your legs super strong. Bring your hands to your hips. Push the feet. Rise all the way up. While you're standing in this pyramid shape, take your arms, reach them up a little bit wide. I'll do this from the front to show you. Pull the armpits back, bend the elbows like you're cradling your skull, but don't let the hands cradle the head, actually. They're just hovering about an inch behind. Then pull your armpits way the heck back. Then go up to high wide V position. Take your arms out like a T and a little bit down. Internally rotate them. Bring them back along the sides. Push the arms back a little bit more. Now bend your elbows, thumbs and index close to each other. They may or may not touch. And can you hold there? Work with a straight neck so you're not jutting your head forward like you're sending a text or on the computer. Straighten the arms, bring them out to T, rotate palms up, reach up again. Elbows bend, armpits back, opening through the pecs. Releasing that, bend the front knee, walk the hands forward, back heel lift, standing split. Stand up on the left leg, lift the right leg, both legs straight-ish. Maybe bend the standing knee a little if you need that. And then you can play with just folding in or take left hand to calf down by Achilles, push in, pull up. Right hand on top of left hand, both hands grip. They push into the muscle and they draw up on the muscle. Then release, touch floor. Bend the front knee, step way the heck back. Hands to the ground, downward facing dog pose. Use breath in to come forward to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, move back, downward facing. Then come forward to plank pose once again, but this time, let the knees come down and go all the way down to the floor. Once you get down there, take yourself into a Sphinx pose. So the forearms are parallel like train tracks, palms facing forward. Scoop the pubic bone in the direction of your chest, or you can think of that as like the buttocks are long towards the heels. Create a feeling of dragging your arm bones back so the chest moves forward, throat moves forward, chin moves forward, and breathe. So pay attention to what the low back curve feels like in this pose. If it feels like it's too dramatic, then feel free to come down a little bit. Elbows to the side. You can even let your chin rest on your hands. Working now with some actions in the legs. Set your legs parallel so they're not wide like a V and they're not touching. They're hips distance apart. And then bend your right knee and pretend like you're going to pull your right heel right to your butt. Almost like there is some sort of resistance that you're dragging your heel through. Now add to this heel pulling towards your butt the feeling of pressing your right knee or thigh down into the floor. Kind of like you're trying to bring your knee to your chest, but the ground is in the way. Notice how the front of your right hip will probably lift away from the mat when you do that. Take one more breath with that action of bringing the knee towards your chest, even though the ground's in the way. And now can you press the pubic bone firmly down into the floor and try to lift the right thigh bone up off the ground, like you're kicking your heel right into your ceiling. Holding that, heel to butt, but heel reaching up. Take one more breath. And then lower the thigh and extend the leg all the way long. Now try the other side. First, bend the left knee, heel to butt, kind of like you're dragging your heel through something thick. Feel the hamstring begin to work. Then add to that, bringing your knee in towards your chest, or you're driving your thigh bone into the ground. Front of the left hip probably lifted. And now we go the opposite way. Pubic bone presses, thigh bone lifts. It clears the floor. Heel towards butt, heel reaches up. Take one more breath. And then let the thigh bone come down, extend the leg long. Come down to a place where you can have your arms by your sides with your palms facing up. Put your chin on the floor. I'm going to keep my head up just for the sake of the microphone. Locust pose. Start with back of the hands pressing. Peel the shoulder heads, the chest, the head off the ground. Pubic bone presses down. See if you can float your legs up off the floor. And then float your arms up off the floor. Palms are facing up. So we have the internal rotation of the arm bones. As you're breathing, think about getting longer rather than higher. Take one more breath. And exhale, go down. Turn your head to one side. Take a couple breaths with your cheek or your ear resting right against your yoga mat. So this exploration of locust pose, I invite you to try this one more time, or we'll build upon it and go into bow pose. So the setup is exactly the same. Check in with the legs that they haven't gone wide. They're parallel, hips distance. Chin to the ground, arms by your side, palms facing up. So that means the back of your hands are pressing into the mat. Chest up, chin up, head up, legs up, arms up. Think of growing longer rather than higher. If you'd like to build, now flex your feet, bring your heels towards your butt, reach back and find the shin or find the tops of the feet. Keep that internal rotation of your shoulders, and then thigh bones, they lift, chest moves forward, pelvis presses. Thigh bones lift, chest moves forward, pelvis presses. One more breath, extending through the spine. And exhale, lower down. Turn your cheek to the mat. And take a couple of breaths, letting the cheek rest or the ear rest. Then lift your head up, center it, slide your hands along your breastbone, push yourself back into child's pose. From here, rise up to all fours, hands and knees. Swing your legs around, take a seat on your backside. You may need a blanket underneath you if you have to bring the floor up to you just a little bit. But go both legs in front. Find a position of your spine that's vertical. The middle of the sit bones is on the floor. So if you're tucked under, then you want to bend your knees, find the middle of the sitting bones. Reach up vertically, take a breath in. Exhale, bow forward, belly connects to the thighs. You take hold of what you can. It may be your feet, it may be the ground, and you bow in. Now you can maintain the bent knees, or you could begin to straighten the legs. Think of lowest part of your belly connected to the highest part of your thighs. If when you straighten your legs, that separates and you go rounded in a big way, once again, bend your knees. Can you breathe into the sides of the rib cage? And can you breathe into the back side of your rib cage? Now use inhale to lengthen and exhale to come all the way back up. Fold your right knee in towards you. Try not to use your hands. So the right foot steps back, the knees pointing up to the ceiling. Hold it in close. And try to make a vertical line of the spine. I'm going to turn towards the screen so you can see this better. Lean over to your left-hand side. So you're going to lean away from the knee that's pointing up. And then take a walk, extending your spine towards your straight leg. You can stop here, or you take your right arm out to the side. Thumb starts pointing up, but then spin it down, like you're giving a thumbs down signal. And then squeeze your knee in towards your armpit. Wrap your arm around your leg, half bind. If you'd like to go full bind, left hand reaches behind. You hold hands with yourself. If you're binding, take an inhale, extend the spine forward, exhale and fold. If you're not binding, you're already folded towards the straight leg. Stay there and enjoy that. In these binds, breathe into the part of you that's feeling compressed. And use inhale, lengthen. Exhale, unbind, unwind. Switch sides. Right leg goes long. Left knee bends. Did you use your hands? If you did, do it without your hands so you get the hip strength to do it. Hug in, get vertical. Lean off to the right, so you're going to go away from that knee and then lean in front of it towards your straight leg. Staying there, this is one way to experience and explore this posture. Or take the left arm out, go from thumbs up to thumbs down. That's internal rotation. Wrap the leg, half bind. Or right hand reaches around to hold hands with your left, full bind. Breathing in, elongation, front spine, exhale and bow. So if you're bound, there's one side, it's the left side, it's getting kind of squeezed, like your guts are getting hugged. So breathe into the gut hug. The spot that is feeling the pressure or compression. Use breath in to lengthen. Exhale to rise up or unbind if you're bound. From here, come down onto your backs. Going back to this position of knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor, cross your right ankle over your left thigh and go eye of the needle. So you pick up your left foot, thread through and around the back of the left thigh. Lift the left shin so it's parallel to the floor, and then drive your knee back towards you. Counter that by pressing your right knee forward. So left knee back, right knee forward. Then draw left heel in towards sit bone. So you close the knee joint a little more. Release the interlace, left foot on the floor. Arms wide like T if you have the space, or cactus goalposts. And then drop the hips to the left until the right foot lands on the ground. Turn the head to the right to see right elbow or right fingers. Take the head to the center, lower body all the way back to center, uncross right ankle, cross left over right, reach through and around, thread, eye of the needle, lift right shin bone parallel to floor, drive the knee back. Counter that by pressing left knee forward. So right knee towards you, left knee away from you. Then close the knee joint, release the interlace of the hands, set the arms how you want them. Now it's dropping of both knees, both hips over to the right, turn the head to the left. Bring it all the way back through to the center, head center, lower body back to center, uncross the left leg. Now setting up for the last pose, the most important one, Savasana. Stretch your legs long. If you're cold, you can grab something to put over the top of the body to keep you warm. Palms facing up, feet turning out, so the inseam of your pants is exposed to the ceiling. Close the horizon line of your eyes. Bring a feeling of weightiness to the body, allowing gravity to work over you as you settle into the floor. Allow the head to soften, begin at the crown. Softening the back of the skull as well. The whole face softens, forehead, eyes, cheeks, nose, lips, ears, jaw, tongue. That wave of softness washes down the body, relaxing neck and shoulders, down the arms, softening hands and fingers, relaxing chest and rib cage and belly. Soften the whole back, upper part, middle, lower. Side body smooth from the armpits all the way down to the hips. Relax the buttocks and the hips themselves, your thighs, your knees, your lower legs. Soften the ankles, the tops of the feet, the soles of the feet, all of your toes and both of your heels. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Then allow awareness to return to your body, resting heavy, returning to the sounds that may be happening around you in the room. And take several deep breaths and welcome all that comes with that, that flow of breath. Welcome emotion and sensation, welcoming it all back in. Find small movements in fingers and toes. And then stretch the arms and reach the legs, extending through the lines. Bend one knee, then the other. Roll over onto your side. And from there, press down into the floor, lift yourself up to seated. Join your hands together in this gesture of offering and gratitude. And may we be happy and joyous and free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May we be healthy and strong in our bodies, our minds, and our hearts. May we feel safe and secure in the world that we live in, and loved and cared for by those that surround us. May we be of right thought, right speech, and right action. And may the merits of the practice that we've done here today benefit all beings everywhere. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste.